Extraterrestrial, like an extraterrestrial,
Doctor?
like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong, like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong, extraterrestrial, 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 like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong, like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong, extraterrestrial, 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 like an extraterrestrial, like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong, like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong, extraterrestrial, 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 like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong, like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong, extraterrestrial, 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 like an extraterrestrial,
Doctor?
like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong, like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong, extraterrestrial, 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 like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong, like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the BTSI Show. I'm your host, Christopher J. Thank you guys for tuning in. Why does this want to act the way it want to act this early in the motherfucking morning? Lord knows. Okay, link. All right, link is dropped. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for showing up to my last show of Talking Point Debunked, where we debunked. What did we debunk again? Oh yes, the Married Men and OnlyFans account. I do want to give a special shout out to Cellulite, to Omni, to Sapphire, and to Robbie for pulling up to the panel, partaking in the conversation. And it was a good show. Go back and watch it whenever you guys can. Today, we're going to talk about the White Knight and the Simps. Yes, we're going to debunk the talking point of the White Knight and the Simps. And these, like I said, some of these talking points are a little bit too easy at this point. But before I do that, hey, beautiful, how you doing, sweetheart? Got to get on my flight, but I hope you are having an awesome day and an awesome show. Like, share, subscribe. Shout out to one of my favorites. Shout out to Jada. As far as having a nice day, I'm gonna try to have a better day today. Number of people really, and I do mean they really pissed me off yesterday. So I was so pissed. I was so pissed off I couldn't do it. Get it off your chest. That's how mad I was, because it's like I'm gonna start. Well, we'll get into that later if we have the time. But yeah, I'm gonna have a better day today because I'm not going to let people get away with some of the goofy shit that I allowed them to get away with. It's time to put a rug underneath people's feet one time just to humble them. But let's get started. You want more content like this? Subscribe and share. Follow me on all social links are located in the description. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Once we reach that goal, one lucky person will get $100 doing the Cash App giveaway. Excuse me. So let's get started. Now, I have been accused of being a white knight and being a simp. Yes, me of all people, been accused of being that. And sometimes when I hear that, I was like, okay, let me see how this is gonna play out. And it's like, oh, that didn't go as well as you planned. So much so to the point where I get to the point where I troll them back. I troll them back when it comes to that. But it really had me thinking, like how this word is being utilized. Because if you knew what the word meant, you will realize a little something about this just doesn't quite make sense. I'm sorry, I forgot my banner. Yeah, something about this doesn't make sense. So I didn't want to jump to conclusions like most sensitive motherfuckers be doing. So I said to myself, I know I'm right on this one, which is no surprise at all because I'm usually right about a lot of things. I said, let's slow roast this. And heads up, the link is pinned, ladies and gentlemen. Oops, let me get out of here and let me go to YouTube. Let me turn this down. Okay. All right. And let me actually put this on the chart because after this, I'm gotta go. All right. Yeah, one second. I'm just gonna put the link to the top because I know I'm right about this one. Somebody's gonna say that I'm wrong. Please share this link out and tell them to come pull up. I dare them to prove me wrong. All right. Link is pinned to the top. Now nobody's gonna get it confused about who's running or not. So let's get started. The White Knight and the Simp. I think it's only best, like any other conversations from before, definitions do go a long way because we already know, uh, excuse me, what my personal beliefs are, which is, excuse me, down at the bottom, Christian, child of God, believer, God the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. That's what I believe in. So we already got that solidified. But before we even get into that, let's go ahead and get our definitions out the way. What is a white knight? A person or thing that comes to someone's aid. A person or thing that comes to someone's aid. You will hear a lot of people being, accused of being a white knight. And how it has been utilized is when a man comes to the aid of a woman in these conversations that we have on YouTube, that we have on Clubhouse. I'm not saying it doesn't happen on that one particular app where it's invite only, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. People have been, that is what a white knight is. When we're having conversation, depending on what the conversation is, usually it's going to be when you diminish the person, the role, the contributions, or whatever the case may be of a woman. When you try to take all that away from her. And when somebody says, no, that's wrong, or I don't agree with that, they get called a white knight. That's what they're called, a white knight. Because you're coming to the aid of, you're always coming to the aid of the women when somebody's just trying to tear them down. Usually, if we're being objective here. That's how white knight is normally used. Okay, let's and I'm gonna show you guys how this is. I'm gonna insert this right now. We'll get back to it later. Projection. We'll get into that later. Now, what is a simp? And shout out to one source that actually updated their terms because we understand it means simpleton. It's short for simpleton, but somebody updated what the word meant and got with the times. D, degenerate inability. What up, D? How you feeling? Simp, someone who shows excessive sympathy and attention towards another person who does not reciprocate the same feeling in pursuit of affection or sexual relationship. And I think that's for the most part a bit self-explanatory. Honestly, that's what I believe. So now that we have our definition of, oops, where we at? Now that we have a definition of a white knight, a person that comes to someone's aid, or in a simp is someone who shows excessive sympathy and attention towards somebody who where the feelings is not mutual or is not reciprocated for a relationship or sex. Now we got a definition. So let's continue. Let me put back the other. So let me put that back. All right, so let's continue. Now, let's pay attention. Hold on. Okay, I'm tripping. Let's pay attention to the people who are doing the accusees, as they call it. We all, for the sake of this argument, we all know who is being accused of being white knights, and we all know who's being accused of being a simp. We all get that. Now, keep in mind, when you insert logic into a conversation, and for the most part, it's gender neutral, meaning the only time you bring in male or females when biology is the conversation. Once you bring that in, you're going to realize a lot of people's talking points or arguments might fall flat on their face because it's based on gender. It's based on a social construct. And us, quite frankly, their beliefs is based on somebody else's belief that where they may or may not be able to articulate themselves. And if they're on shaky ground, you know you don't have a chance with your argument. Those are the QZs. Also, and like I said, if I'm wrong, the link is in the chat. It's pinned. You guys are more than welcome to come tell me I'm wrong and how I'm wrong. Good luck with that. So let's do this. Let's continue. When it comes to let me get the word out. Let me get the word. When it comes to pursuing affection or a sexual relationship, fellas, because this is if anything, this is for the this describes a man. The man, a simp, describes a male, whereas a pick me describes a female. The definitions are the same, basically. But let's continue. So when a man is in pursuit of a relationship, whether it be monogamous, whether it be even polygamous, which is another level of wild, or sex, you're willing to do and say whatever you can say to get said relationship. More times than not, people usually do it for pussy. Let's just call it what it is. Most people are in pursuit of pussy. So now that we know that, so I want to ask because I won't call out the person. I won't say where we was located, where this got exposed, and quite frankly, this got exposed on so many platforms: YouTube, Clubhouse, Discord. So when it comes to a man's gripe towards a woman, when it comes to a man's gripe and the issue they have towards a woman, unruly woman, as they would say, not a gentleman, but what's up, man? What you saying about the night? Nah. Not you, OG. Not you, OG. Not you, OG. That ain't no. The white knight and knightish is not the same thing. Let we not even do that. But when it comes to the pursuit of pussy, this put relationships aside because most of y'all not looking for no real relationship. Y'all just want to have a stable females to dig down and keep it moving in rotation. Trade somebody out and trade somebody back in. But your complaints is they're unruly, they don't listen, they don't cook, they don't clean, they don't do this, they don't do that. Okay. We're not gonna act like those subgroup of women don't exist. We're not gonna do that. However, I will say this. If that's what you believe, why are you dealing with them? Why are you going to deal with the person that is not compatible for you, that you know this is a bad look on you? Some people say we do it for pussy. We'll put up with an unruly woman if we can get some pussy. We'll deal with a disrespectful woman if she looks good enough. How are you not a simp if that's the case? On that merit alone, ladies and gentlemen, see how easy that was? That talking point is officially debunked. Anytime you are what's the word? Settling for less to get what you want? Yeah, that makes you a simp. You are putting up with what you can put up with just for the purpose of sex. Just the purpose of keep somebody company, excuse me, when especially if that feeling's not mutual, which gives them all the leverage because the only reason why you're here is to get this is what the women say. So let me make that loud and clear. The women are gonna say the only reason why you're here is just to get some pussy. The only reason why you're here is to be in my presence. So that means I get to act or do whatever I want because I know you ain't going nowhere. And you're gonna sit there and you're gonna stand there like a sick puppy, and you move when I tell you to move. Whatever you offer, I get to determine if I accept it or I get rid of it. More times than not, I'm gonna get rid of it because I know you're coming right back. So I'm gonna extract all the resource out of you, and I'm gonna give you very little back. That makes you a simp. That 100% make you a simp. So if you're saying you are putting up with a woman's, again, bad attitude, uncooperativeness, um, dependent lifestyle, meaning you need to take care of them, and we're gonna get to the white knight part in just a minute. And you're dealing with all of that for the sake of being in a relationship with somebody or for the sake of having sex with somebody, that makes you a simp. Sorry, talking point has been debunked officially. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to say this, but I gotta say it. Most of the men in the space are simps. If you haven't heard it, most of the heavy hitters in the space are fucking simps. Once you get to that will be the solution part. We'll get to that in a minute. And let me keep track of the time. So you know who your favorite content creator is. You know who they are, and you know their talking points front to back. You know that they are simps based on the definition. Anytime you compromise your morals, your integrity, your principles for pussy, is what it is. You're a simp. Not the ones who is having conversation and they have a different perspective of you. That doesn't make them a simp at all. What makes now she's in the building. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you enjoyed your flight. So that makes you a simp, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, she's on the. Oh, she's several thousand feet in the air. Got the Wi-Fi, so she could watch me. Hey, beautiful. So anytime you do affection, oh yeah, and like for example, her and I's back and forth and gesture. That's just her and I's relationship. Everything her and I do is mutual. Not to say we're seeking a relationship. Not to say we're seeking sex or anything like that. See, me and Jada, we have conversations. There are times we agree with each other. There's also sometimes we disagree with each other. Either way, her and I, love and respect is reciprocated amongst both of us. See, I'm not doing anything out of my way just to get her good favors or not. I don't have to do that. Her and I just organically just have a great bond and relationship with each other. See, that's how a man is supposed to move. Matter of fact, that was a solution. I'm sorry, we'll get back to that later on. But hey, Jada, salute to you. Now, we already debunked the excuse me. We already debunked the simp part. That's officially debunked. Now let's get to the white knight. Let's get to the white knight. So, what is the definition of a white knight? A person or thing that comes to someone's aid. Now, in these conversations, when I insert logic, damn near everything else got to go. Damn near everything else has to go. So, when I come from a gender neutral standpoint, a lot of people don't like that because they think I'm caping for the woman. I was like, what's good for you should be good for them. The, oh, now, oh my. Now you want to listen to me? I told you that some of your face, that's my cash apps, etc. Don't lie, and they're getting not even a pick out of me. But I won't out no. Hmm. Hey y'all, who's she talking about, y'all? Put the names in the chat. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are very kind, and yeah, you're a tough person to get in contact with. I will openly admit that. But I wonder who she talking about. I wonder who she talking about. Y'all got any ideas? Put the name in the chat. Just have a little fun this Sunday morning. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you, beautiful. Now, white knight, a person or thing that comes to someone's aid. Now, when I have conversations, like the last two times I was on Hamp's panel, it was logic, me using logic, by the way. And when I use logic, you'll realize some of these conversations, excuse me, are gender neutral. Especially if you're having an open or solution conversation, it's always going to be gender neutral. Like I said, the only time biology come into play is when you're talking. Excuse me, the only time gender comes into play is when you're talking about biology. For the most part, my body works a lot different than her body. And woman, be quiet. Alexa. That was her. Yeah, my body works different than her body, and her body works different than my body. So that's gonna be the only big difference between people in society. That's the one thing that nobody can refute. Everything else is for the most part a social construct, and this is where non-binary talking point comes. Not how you live, because I don't believe that. I don't believe in a physical, like when it comes to biology. I don't believe in non-binary. However, when it comes to social construct, I'm going to move how I want to move versus what people outside the house tell me how I need to move. Because how I move benefits this household, and if it benefits the household, it benefits everybody inside of this household. And if it benefits anybody inside this household, that means it could give aid to anybody outside. So let's continue. That's what happens when I come into a conversation. Now, with my submissions to this conversation, people think I'm a white knight. They automatically think I'm a white knight, which means they ignore the logic that was exercised, and they decided to lean on their own foolish understanding. I'll say that. That's a white knight. However, when it comes to women who can't pay their bills, who don't know how to run their own household, who needs the aid of somebody so they can move on with life. They need your money. They need your resources for themselves, their families, or as you guys say, don't they're crumb snatchers. You be like, I'm gonna go ahead and deal with that. Matter of fact, let's put the family to the side. Let's just keep it on the woman because I don't have to go there. Let's just keep it on the woman. If she can't, if she cannot provide for herself, she's not an adult. And I'm talking about right here. If she cannot provide for herself, if she cannot stand on her own, if she needs you to as a necessity, and you what that is, okay. If she needs you as a necessity, that's a dependent. And if you decide to get with a dependent, wife up a dependent, all this other stuff, that makes you a white knight. That's the epitome of a white knight, ladies and gentlemen. So again, talking point has officially been debunked. Anybody that's anybody that sees women as a weaker vessel and they want to get with said weaker vessel, that makes you a white knight. On the definition alone, that makes you a white knight. Like I said, the link is pinned. You're more than welcome to come up here to tell me I'm wrong, but guess what? I already know I'm not. Coming to somebody's aid who needs to grow up and stand on their own 2 feet. You come to that person's aid, like, oh, I'm going to rescue you. Oh, I'm going to save you. You're a white knight. Talking point is officially debunked. You cannot, under any circumstances, call somebody a white knight for, like I said, having a different perspective of you, where in real life, you're trying to wife up, or in context of this conversation, you're trying to wife up somebody that does not need to be touched. They don't know how to make it on their own. They need you. They need your money. And if they need all of that from you, who are you to call anybody a white knight? Because you're about to go save this chick for the sake of having a relationship, for the sake of sex, and so on and so forth. But you had the temerity, don't mean to get it go to come on a line and call somebody a simp. Well, it's easy for you to do online because God knows you're never going to do that in person. Too early in the morning for this. I like my Simps. Shout out to all of them. The loud and wrong and the silent and strong. You secretly Your secret enjoyment for being kind to a kind woman is appreciated. Happy 2025. Yep, I am declaring my appreciation everywhere I go. Leave the Simps alone. I sure won't. Oh, thank you, baby. So, how does it feel to know that? And this is now let's insert the word projection before we get to solutions. Now, you see why I said the word projection earlier, ladies and gentlemen? Because when people get the name calling, they're usually taking absolving themselves of responsibility, absolving themselves of accountability, and they throwing it on somebody else out of convenience. Because at the end of the day, fellas, in context of this conversation, fellas, you, my guy, are a white knight. You, my guy, are a simp. That is what you are. And I say, own it. Stop projecting your shortcomings, your failures onto somebody else. There's a motherfucker who used to accuse me of being online all the time, like streaming all hours out of the day. Do you know what I do for a living? I don't have the luxury to do that. I don't. Even on the 2 days out of the year that I request off for March 20th, which is the season premiere. And yes, we have a season premiere coming in a couple of months, or my birthday. Those are the only times where I really have the luxury to, what's the word I'm looking for? To stream all day. I don't even do that because unlike you, I go outside. I have to go outside. I have no choice but to do that. I do that regardless. I want to get outside of these four walls anyway. But now I'm in a position where it's mandatory. And I was like, you ain't hurting my feelings. So hold on, let me see what Jada's saying. For that person to know that they have to be watching all day. I agree. And it's like I will agree with that if there was some truth to that. But the problem is, Jada, there is no truth to that. That person streams all day and they clout chase by going on different people's panels just to be relevant. I was like, motherfucker, you stream all day. And the only reason why I know you do all this because people come back and tell me you do all this. So that never makes sense to me. A new filming project is anywhere. Make sure to subscribe and set your bell. Oh, you got a new project? Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Whenever you touch down, okay, because what's my schedule today? And you're on the East Coast. Call me 2:30. I want to hear more about that project. I know that not the truth of that. Or wait, who said that? People, home, nah, people just are clout chasers at this point. So I was like, you ain't about to get no, you ain't about to get no skin off my bone. Oh, I'm about to say, I was like, Jenna got a project? Yes, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to in August, Jesus, in April, third week of April. I am, yeah, yeah. That's pretty much what it is. April, third week of April. I am flying to Puerto Rico to film to shoot a movie. So I'll keep you guys informed about that as we get closer today. As you guys know, it's starring me, it's starring Ashton, and there's one other person that we're not going to say publicly. We're gonna surprise you guys with that one. So, but yeah, getting back to the conversation, people projecting. When somebody calls you a name or put a title on you, I'm starting to realize that that's who they are deep down inside. Like when someone calls you when somebody says you're a simp, a white knight, pan panderer, gaslighter, etc., etc. When people throw these labels on you, usually that's who they are. They just projecting their shit on you. So in this space, when it comes to white knight and simps, usually the people who are calling people white knight or simps outside blatant obvious scenarios where they are a white knight or simp, they're usually white knights and simps themselves. This space is an infestation of white knights and simps. Fellas, you're looking to be in a relationship with somebody who's not fully developed as an adult. And I'm talking about here, and I'm talking about responsibilities that they have. But you're willing to wipe that up or be with that person because you believe women are weaker vessels. And because they're weaker vessels and you're the strong one, you say you have to come to their defense. Like, don't you want a man to take care of you? Don't you want a man to do this for you? That's a white knight. So yeah, there are men in the space who are white knights. That's number one. And as far as the Sims, that's self-explanatory. So if you're willing to compromise your standards, your morals, your principles, your foundation, whatever, for the sake of pussy, that makes you a simp. It is what it is. And because of that, you're going to have to really, once you guys leave this channel, once you go to other people's spaces, you're going to start to hear people that that you respect. You're going to realize you are every single thing that you spoke out against. Every single thing that you spoke out against, that is you. How awful does that feel? So now let's get to the solution part. The solution is real simple, ladies and gentlemen. There's a need, and I guess in this case I'm talking to the men who are looking to get with these females. You do that as a need. You do that as you're desperate. If you prioritize self and focus on self and have some sense of force. Well, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, what is my oh, I gotta rearrange this. Okay. Oh, there it is. Ideologies, Christian, child of God, believer, God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. So the reason why I say all that is because whatever your whatever you prioritize, whatever your pedestal, you put it on the pedestal, is the reason why you are falling to being a white knight, why you're actually falling to being a sin. Like I said, we got definitions of what these words mean already. It's because you're pedestalizing pussy, you're pedestalizing females, and not what really needs to be up there above all of that. That's why. Once you start to prioritize what's important in your life, you'll start to realize you don't need anybody. And if you're with somebody, it's because you want to be there. See how consistency comes into play? See what happens when you just do little simple things to tear down people's arguments, whether it be on YouTube or whether it be on Clubhouse or whether it be that other platform that I keep that I don't tell people about. See, once you say things over and over again, and when you moments like this comes, you get to expose people for how much of an intellect they are not. What? So what are we doing? What are we gonna do moving here? Moving forward. Excuse me. Easy. Stop pedestalizing pussy. Stop pedestalizing women, especially, especially if they are relatively available. That's yeah, that's crazy. Um, you know, I'm short on time, so I won't even open that can of words because I think I already I think I already pissed off the right people already. Stop pedestalizing females. Stop pedestalizing pussy. They anywhere you go, everywhere you look, they're around you. You're never gonna run out of women. You're never gonna run out of pussy. Sorry. So stop putting it on the pedestal. Prioritize what is important in your life. And if getting it with a female and having sex is the number one thing in life, that makes you a like I said, go back and watch this string. I already tell you what a white knight is. I already tell you what a simp is. That's where you fall under. So anybody that comes into these conversations, anybody that comes into these conversations, stop calling them a white knight. Stop calling them a simp because that's who you are deep down inside. Just because I offer a logical perspective that really cannot be argued, and when you're really getting your ass whooped by somebody of my caliber, you result into name calling people, and it's like, oh, white knight, oh, I'm a simp. Let's break that down and let me show you who you really are deep down inside. Since most people are actors on YouTube anyway, let me pull the mask off of you and let me expose you for the fraud that you is. Yeah, there's a reason why people leave me the fuck alone. So, in closing, if you're out here, if you look at women as weaker vessels and you need to save them, you're a white knight. If you're doing or saying or tolerating whatever from a woman just to get some pussy, you're a simp. And the link is dropped. This string could have been shared out. I mean what I said, and I say what I mean. Hmm? What you say, Chris? They get it by. When do they not? Uh, Honestly, when do they not? Don't see what people tend to do is act like you don't. They don't know. No, they act like they don't know what I'm talking about. But when I just start asking little simple ass questions, epistemological, I can never get this word out right the first time. Epista, Epistemological questions. I know I mispronounced that word. Anytime I just ask simple words, simple questions, you'll realize what they believe is going to fall on is going to fall on their face, and how what they're saying may make sense in one field, it doesn't make sense in the other. So if that's the case, whatever principle they have is compromise. Principles work anywhere and everywhere. So, like I said, there's a reason why people tend to leave me alone. There's a reason why people are grateful that I don't click the link, because I'm going to expose you, and this is nothing previously, and this is not no ill will or malice towards anybody. I'm just simply, it's like what you're saying not making no sense. So I'm a I for myself are going to just ask questions just to say how well do you believe in what you believe in, and that's when things tend to get shaky. Like I said, and that's when you rip the veil um, from people's eyes. They be like, "Here's your white knight, and there's your simp. There goes your white knight, and there goes your simp." And it is what it is. Just stop projecting. Own up to who you are. You'll be all right. So that was talking point debunked. We debunked the talking point of white knights and simps. See how easy that was? This is why, like I said, this is why people tend to leave me alone. Like I said. If you like the video, hit the like, dislike, hit the dislike. Follow me on all social links are located in the description. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Once we reach that goal, one lucky person will get $100 during the Cash App giveaway. Yes, that's basically it. And guess what? I don't mind people test me. Somebody tried to test me and thought I was gonna be exposed. That didn't work in his favor. Ain't nobody ran. I answered all the questions, and it's like, now what? And they and once they realized they couldn't back me into no fucking corner, that's when name calling start to begin. It's like, yeah, I know, it's all good. You was never that guy to begin with. You probably had a good run, but then I just so happened to step in the picture, and guess what? I expose you for who you are, and it is what it is. As I expose you and your man's too, but we ain't gotta talk about that. But thank you guys for tuning in. BTSI show. BTSI show, Christopher J. I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Oops. Can't get my production right. All right, y'all. We out of here. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Peace out.
Extraterrestrial.
Doctor?
Like I don't belong. I feel like I extraterrestrial. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial. 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 Like an extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial. 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 Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial. 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 Like an extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial.
Doctor?
Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial.
It's a mess. Hey, don't even worry about it.